Imagine a weapon unlike any other conceived before. A weapon that moves invisibly through the intricate web of wires and airwaves that connect our world, a silent menace lurking in the digital shadows. No earth-shattering explosions, no gaping craters left behind, just a silent infiltration, a digital phantom slipping past defenses. It bypasses armed guards standing watch, effortlessly sidestepping concrete walls and razor wire fences, slipping unnoticed into the world's most secure facilities, the fortresses thought to be impenetrable. It operates as a ghost made of code, an ethereal entity existing solely within the digital realm, its mission sabotage from within, to cripple and corrupt from the inside out. Imagine it turning a nuclear facility's own sophisticated machinery against itself, twisting its purpose into a destructive force. All the while, operators, the guardians of these systems, see nothing amiss, completely unaware of the impending disaster. This isn't a plot from a dystopian science fiction novel, it actually happened, a chilling reality. The target, Iran's heavily guarded nuclear enrichment plant, a site of immense strategic importance. Buried deep in the heart of the desert, isolated and seemingly untouchable. The result, utter devastation and chaos without a single shot fired, a silent war waged in the digital domain. Proving in a stark and undeniable way that a few lines of meticulously crafted code can achieve what entire armies with all their might cannot. The attack irrevocably blurred the already indistinct lines between war and peace, ushering in a new era of conflict, showing the world, in a dramatic fashion, that the next global conflict, the spark that ignites a worldwide inferno, could very well start with a simple click of a mouse. Once unleashed from its digital cage, the weapon, like a genie from a bottle, escaped its intended confines, spreading rapidly worldwide, leaving a trail of digital breadcrumbs and revealing its innermost secrets to anyone who dared to look, exposing its inner workings to anyone with the technical skill and determination to dissect it, analyze it, and ultimately understand it. The world had irrevocably entered a new era, a digital age unlike any seen before, one where digital ghosts, born from lines of code, could trigger chaos and destruction on a global scale, holding the world hostage with the potential for silent sabotage. Iran's nuclear program was a source of global anxiety, a concern that rippled across continents and through international corridors. The world held its breath, watching as Iran steadily progressed in its nuclear ambitions. This was especially true for Western powers in Israel, who viewed the program with increasing alarm. Diplomatic pressure mounted and the stakes grew higher with each passing day. The international community grappled with how to address this escalating situation. The Natanz fuel enrichment plant, a sprawling industrial complex, fortified and shrouded in secrecy, became the epicenter of these fears. It was a symbol of Iran's nuclear aspirations, a place where the future of the region and perhaps the world hung in the balance. Every advancement within its walls, every new piece of equipment installed, became the epicenter of these fears. The world watched with bated breath, analyzing every detail, searching for clues about Iran's true intentions. Officially, Iran claimed peaceful intentions, asserting that its nuclear program was solely for energy production and medical research. They maintained their right to develop nuclear technology for civilian purposes. But despite these assurances, suspicions of weapons development ran high, fueled by Iran's past actions and its defiance of international scrutiny. The specter of a nuclear-armed Iran loomed large, casting a shadow over the region. Every new centrifuge at Natanz, whirring and spinning at incredible speeds, was seen as a step closer to a nuclear-armed Iran, a dangerous escalation that could destabilize the entire Middle East. This was a red line for the US and Israel, who vowed to prevent Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons by any means necessary. The tension was palpable, the threat of military action ever present. Military strikes were considered, debated and planned, a last resort to dismantle Iran's nuclear infrastructure. The consequences of such an action, however, were dire. Airstrikes risked igniting a regional war, drawing in neighboring countries and plunging the world into global instability. The potential for widespread conflict was a terrifying prospect. Diplomacy had stalled, years of negotiations yielding little progress. Sanctions designed to cripple Iran's economy had failed to halt its nuclear ambitions, and the world was desperate for a solution, a way to avert disaster that didn't involve open conflict and widespread bloodshed. The need for a peaceful resolution was paramount. In this tense standoff, with traditional methods exhausted, a new and unconventional idea emerged. a clandestine operation hidden from view. Sabotage through cyberspace, a silent war waged in the digital realm. The goal was to halt Iran's progress, to cripple its nuclear program from within without firing a single shot. This was a new frontier of conflict, a way to achieve strategic objectives without bombs or soldiers, a war fought with lines of code. As the centrifuges spun, relentlessly pursuing their purpose, the world watched, monitored, and waited, holding its breath as the drama unfolded, hoping for a way to defuse the crisis, to find a path to peace before it was too late. The stakes were simply too high to fail. The answer would come not from the battlefield, not from traditional warfare, but from the digital shadows, from the unseen world of computer networks and malicious code. This was the birth of a new kind of warfare, a silent, invisible battle fought in the digital realm, with the fate of nations hanging in the balance. Stuxnet wasn't just another piece of malware floating around the internet. It wasn't designed to steal your passwords or hold your data for ransom. It was a precision cyber weapon, meticulously crafted and deployed with a specific objective in mind. A digital missile aimed at a very particular target. Its primary target? Siemens Programmable Logic Controllers, or PLCs. These controllers were the brains behind Iran's nuclear centrifuges, the machines responsible for enriching uranium. The Natanz facility, where these centrifuges were housed, was air-gapped from the internet, a security measure designed to isolate it from external threats. Natanz seemed like an impenetrable fortress, but Stuxnet found a way in, spreading like a digital disease via infected USB drives, cleverly sneaking past the facility's defenses and security protocols. Once inside the network, it meticulously hunted for specific versions of Siemens software, the key to controlling the centrifuges. Then, in an act of digital espionage, it recorded normal operating parameters, creating a baseline to mask its impending sabotage. Stuxnet subtly altered the centrifuge speeds, pushing them beyond their safe operating limits, ultimately causing catastrophic damage to the delicate machinery. All the while, it replayed the fake, pre-recorded data to the control room operators, creating a false sense of normalcy. The engineers, relying on their monitoring systems, saw only normal readings, completely unaware of the impending disaster. And so the centrifuges, one by one, began to tear themselves apart, victims of a silent, invisible enemy. The attack was so stealthy and sophisticated, designed to evade detection at every turn, that initially it appeared to be nothing more than a string of random, inexplicable failures. For months, the insidious sabotage continued undetected, slowly and methodically crippling Iran's nuclear program, sowing confusion, frustration, and a growing sense of unease among the engineers and technicians. Stuxnet's brilliance lay not just in its technical complexity, but in its masterful deception, meticulously crafting the damage to appear as accidental mechanical failures, masking the true nature of the attack. It wasn't until months later, when cybersecurity experts began to unravel the mystery, that the truth was finally revealed. By the time it was discovered, the malware had already achieved its objective and fundamentally changed the landscape of modern warfare. It was the first known instance of a cyber weapon specifically designed to cause real-world physical destruction, blurring the lines between the digital and physical realms. The age of digital sabotage, of using code as a weapon of mass disruption, had officially begun. Who built Stuxnet? Evidence pointed to a US-Israeli operation codenamed Operation Olympic Games. Their goal: delay Iran's nuclear ambitions without open war. Cyberattack offered plausible deniability and real impact, pushing the boundaries of international law. Stuxnet's development required elite coders, intelligence experts, and unprecedented resources. 4 zero-day exploits in one malware, an extraordinary feat, signaling state-level involvement. The operation destroyed over 1,000 centrifuges, setting Iran back by at least a year. But the weapon escaped, its code becoming a blueprint for others. The world now knew how to build digital weapons, and the arms race had begun. Stuxnet's attack began with a simple act: a contaminated USB drive plugged into a Natanz computer. The malware spread quietly, searching for Siemens Step 7 software, the key to the centrifuges. Once found, Stuxnet injected its code, crossing from digital to physical sabotage. It manipulated centrifuge speeds, causing them to fail while hiding its tracks. The attack was staggered and varied, making failures seem unrelated. Over months, more than 1,000 centrifuges were destroyed. Iranian engineers were baffled, never suspecting sabotage. Stuxnet proved that software could achieve what bombs could not. The world of warfare was changed forever. The digital Rubicon had been crossed. The discovery of Stuxnet in 2010 sent shockwaves worldwide. Its code became a blueprint for cyberweapons, ending the era of digital restraint. Nations raced to develop offensive cyber capabilities, inspired by Stuxnet's success. Related malware like Dooku and Flame soon emerged, focused on intelligence and future attacks. Iran, once a victim, quickly built its own cyber arsenal, launching retaliatory strikes. The lesson in cyberspace: anyone can become an aggressor. Experts now fear a Stuxnet 2.0, targeting power grids, water systems, or financial markets. The threat of chaos is real. The tools are out there. Cyberweapons are hard to control, easy to copy, and difficult to trace. The Pandora's box is open, and the world must adapt to a new, unpredictable reality. Stuxnet's legacy forces us to ask, are cyberweapons worth the risk? They can prevent wars, but their code can be stolen, copied, and unleashed on civilians. The techniques used at Natanz could cripple power grids or trigger disasters anywhere. The rules of cyber warfare are undefined, and attribution is murky. A single attack could spiral into global chaos. We now live in a world where technology is both our strength and our greatest vulnerability. The temptation to use these weapons is high, but the risks are higher. As citizens, we must question if such power can ever be wielded responsibly. In the invisible realm of cyber warfare, there are no true winners, only escalating risks. The future of conflict is silent, unseen, and dangerously unpredictable.